What if the reality you're experiencing right now isn't the only one available to you, but simply the only one your subconscious allows you to perceive? Most people believe that change takes time, effort, or luck. They assume that creating a better life means working harder, acquiring more skills, or waiting for the right opportunities. But what if everything you desire already exists? What if the version of you who has everything you want isn't something you have to work toward, but something you can align with right now? This is where the concept of parallel realities comes in. Every possible version of your life already exists as an energetic possibility. Every outcome you can imagine, whether it's wealth, success, love, or a completely different lifestyle, is already playing out in another timeline. You don't have to create it from nothing. Instead, you have to shift your alignment to match that reality. Think of it like this. Imagine you're listening to a song on a radio station. At any given moment, countless other stations are broadcasting different songs, but you can only hear the one you're tuned into. Your subconscious mind is like the tuner. It determines which frequency you align with, filtering out everything that doesn't match your current beliefs. Until you adjust the frequency, you'll keep hearing the same song over and over. But here's the problem. Most people don't realize that their subconscious mind is locked onto the same station indefinitely. Instead of exploring new frequencies where different experiences exist, they remain tuned into the same reality, one that repeats the same struggles, the same limitations, and the same doubts. The key to shifting timelines isn't about working harder or waiting for life to change. It's about outsmarting your subconscious mind. Right now, your subconscious is filtering out possibilities that don't align with its programming. It's reinforcing what you already believe to be true about yourself and the world. And unless you override that programming, you will keep experiencing the same reality, no matter how much conscious effort you put in. So, if your subconscious is controlling which version of reality you see, how do you take back control? How do you shift from one timeline to another, from struggle to ease, from lack to abundance, from limitation to expansion? That's what we'll explore today. But first, we need to understand exactly how your subconscious mind works and why it holds so much power over the timeline you experience. Once you see the mechanism behind it, you'll understand why most people stay stuck and how you can break free. Your subconscious mind is the silent architect of your reality. While you may believe that your conscious decisions shape your life, the truth is that your subconscious programming determines which version of reality you experience. It operates like a filter, allowing in only what aligns with its pre-existing beliefs and discarding everything else, even if those discarded possibilities could completely transform your life. From the moment you were born, your subconscious has been absorbing information, forming patterns, and creating rules about how reality works. The most powerful period of subconscious programming happens in early childhood, when the brain operates primarily in a theta brainwave state, a highly suggestible state where information is absorbed without question. During these formative years, you pick up beliefs from your parents, caregivers, and environment, many of which still shape your current reality, even if you're unaware of them. As you grow, these subconscious beliefs solidify, becoming the foundation of how you perceive the world. If, as a child, you absorb the belief that money is hard to earn, your subconscious will continue reinforcing that narrative, filtering out opportunities that contradict it. If you internalize that love is conditional, your subconscious will guide you toward relationships that confirm that belief, even if they cause pain. The subconscious doesn't distinguish between empowering and limiting beliefs. It simply repeats what it knows. This is why so many people feel stuck in repetitive cycles. They may set conscious intentions for change, but their subconscious programming keeps tuning them into the same timeline, reinforcing familiar struggles and preventing them from seeing alternate possibilities. The subconscious mind isn't working against you. It's simply executing the program it was given. But if you never question or rewrite that program, you remain locked into the same reality. Consider this. Everything you desire already exists in another timeline. The reason you haven't experienced it yet isn't because it's out there waiting to be attracted. It's because your subconscious hasn't allowed you to align with it. The timeline where you're wealthy, successful, or fulfilled isn't far away. It's just on a different frequency, and your subconscious programming determines whether or not you can access it. So, how do you override this deeply ingrained system and shift into a new reality? The answer lies in understanding how to reprogram the subconscious mind. Because once you change the script running beneath the surface, the reality reflected back to you must change as well. Every belief you hold acts as an anchor, keeping you tied to a specific version of reality. If your subconscious determines what possibilities you can access, then your belief system is the code that programs your experience of life. The world around you doesn't show you what's objectively true. It mirrors back what you already expect to be true. This is why two people can live in the same world but experience completely different versions of it. One person believes money flows to them easily, and they consistently find themselves in financial abundance. Another believes money is hard to earn, and no matter how much they work, they always feel like they're just getting by. Their realities are shaped by the expectations and beliefs they carry, whether they're aware of them or not. What makes this even more powerful is that the subconscious mind is designed to confirm whatever you believe. It filters out any evidence that contradicts its programming and highlights anything that reinforces it. If you hold the belief that money is evil, you'll subconsciously resist wealth in ways you don't even realize. You may feel guilt when receiving money, sabotage financial opportunities, or make decisions that keep you financially restricted. If you believe success requires struggle, you'll unconsciously reject opportunities that allow for ease because they don't match your inner script. If you believe love always leads to pain, you'll attract partners who validate that belief, or you'll push away deep emotional connections before they can truly form. None of these beliefs are inherently true, but because your subconscious filters reality to make them true, they shape the timeline you remain in. This is why many people feel trapped in repetitive cycles. They try to change their external circumstances, but the subconscious mind always recalibrates their experience to match its programmed beliefs. If you win a large sum of money but still believe you don't deserve it, you'll find a way to lose it. If you enter a great relationship but believe you're not truly lovable, you'll either sabotage it or choose someone who reflects your insecurities back to you. The subconscious mind is always making sure that the reality you experience aligns with what it expects. But here's the key: beliefs are not fixed. They can be rewritten, and when they are, the reality you experience must change to reflect the new programming. If each timeline is simply a reflection of a different set of beliefs, then shifting timelines isn't about external change. It's about choosing a new belief system that aligns with the version of reality you want to live in. This is why manifestation works not by attracting something outside of you, but by aligning with the version of you that already has it. The moment you decide to believe something new, you start moving toward the timeline where that belief is true. Most people don't consciously choose their beliefs. Instead, they reinforce the ones they've been repeating for years. They assume that because something has always been a certain way, it must continue to be that way. This is where self-awareness becomes crucial. The moment you start questioning your long-held assumptions about life, money, success, and relationships, you open the door to new possibilities. When you stop reinforcing the same thoughts, emotions, and actions, your subconscious no longer has a reason to keep filtering reality in the same way. To shift to a new timeline, you have to reprogram the subconscious to align with the version of yourself who already lives in that reality. This isn't about wishful thinking. It's about replacing old conditioning with new instructions that reflect the reality you actually want to experience. The subconscious mind doesn't question or analyze. It simply follows the patterns and instructions it has been given. If those instructions tell it that success is hard, that wealth is out of reach, or that love is unreliable, then that's the timeline you'll continue to experience. But just as your subconscious was programmed over time, it can also be reprogrammed to align with a completely different reality. Shifting timelines isn't about waiting for change to happen. It's about changing the internal framework that dictates the reality you see. The key to reprogramming is repetition and emotional intensity. The subconscious learns through experience, not logic. Simply telling yourself, "I am wealthy," won't override years of programming that says otherwise. But when you immerse yourself in the feeling of already being the version of you who is wealthy, successful, or fulfilled, the subconscious starts to register it as truth. Emotion is the language of the subconscious. When you feel something deeply, your mind interprets it as real, whether or not your physical reality currently reflects it. One of the most effective ways to rewire your subconscious is visualization. By vividly imagining yourself already living in your desired reality, you create new mental associations that reinforce the shift. The key is to not just see the experience, but to feel it. If you visualize yourself in financial abundance, don't just picture numbers in a bank account. Immerse yourself in the feeling of security, freedom, and confidence that wealth brings. If you're shifting into a timeline of love and fulfillment, don't just see the relationship. Experience the joy, the connection, and the peace that comes with it. The stronger the emotional imprint, the faster the subconscious integrates it as part of your reality. To make visualization even more powerful, you should embody the beliefs and emotions of that new reality in your daily life. This means aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the version of you that already exists in your desired timeline. If the you in that reality is confident, decisive, and open to opportunities, then that is the energy you must carry with you now. It's not about pretending. It's about choosing to operate from that frequency until it becomes natural. Resistance is one of the biggest obstacles in this process. If you find yourself doubting, questioning, or hesitating, it's usually because the subconscious is still holding onto the old timeline. This is why letting go of attachment to the how and when of manifestation is crucial. The subconscious doesn't respond to force. It responds to ease, certainty, and trust. The more you focus on why hasn't it happened yet, the more you reinforce the timeline where it hasn't happened. Instead, shifting into a new reality means acting as if it's already true and allowing the external world to catch up. The subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between real and imagined experiences. It simply accepts what is repeated with conviction. When you consistently reinforce the new identity, it starts filtering reality through that lens, making decisions, noticing opportunities, and attracting circumstances that match the new frequency. This is how shifts happen, not by forcing external change, but by changing the filter through which you experience reality. When you start shifting into a new reality, your external world doesn't always change instantly, but the signs of alignment begin to show up in subtle and sometimes unexpected ways. These signs act as feedback, letting you know that your internal shift is beginning to be reflected externally. Recognizing them can help reinforce your confidence in the process and prevent you from slipping back into old patterns of doubt or resistance. One of the most common signs of a timeline shift is feeling different internally before anything external changes. You may start to notice a shift in your emotional state, feeling lighter, more optimistic, or detached from worries that used to consume you. Things that once triggered you may no longer have the same emotional pull, and you may find yourself naturally responding in ways that align with the version of yourself you've been stepping into. Another powerful sign is changes in the people, conversations, and situations you encounter. As you shift your frequency, your external world begins to adjust. You may find certain relationships fading while new connections emerge, or you may notice people around you reflecting your new beliefs back to you. This isn't random. Your reality is always responding to the energy you emit. You may also experience synchronicities, those seemingly random but meaningful coincidences that point to your alignment with a new timeline. Repeating numbers, unexpected opportunities, or hearing the exact message you needed at the perfect moment are all signals that your energy is shifting. These aren't just coincidences. They are glimpses of the reality you are stepping into. The key is to recognize and acknowledge them, as doing so strengthens your alignment. Another indication that you are shifting timelines is feeling a sense of detachment from your past self. You might notice that old fears, doubts, or struggles no longer feel like they belong to you. Certain memories or experiences that once defined you may feel distant or less relevant. This is because you are no longer resonating with the frequency of the timeline where those experiences were dominant. Perhaps the most important sign of all is that your external world begins to reflect the new beliefs and emotions you've been cultivating. It might start small, an unexpected opportunity, a sudden moment of clarity, or a chance encounter that confirms your shift. These may seem like small things at first, but they are indicators that the new reality is forming around you. The more you acknowledge these shifts, the stronger they become. Understanding these signs allows you to stay confident in the process, even if results don't appear immediately. Shifting timelines is not always about instant, dramatic changes. It's about gradually aligning with a new version of reality. The more you trust the signs and continue reinforcing the new energy you're embodying, the more your external world will reshape to reflect your internal state. Our subconscious beliefs determine the timeline you experience, but once you take control of them, you take control of your reality. Shifting timelines isn't about forcing change, it's about fully embodying the version of yourself that belongs in your desired reality. Many people experience moments of alignment, only to find themselves slipping back into old patterns and reactions. The key to solidifying the shift is integration. Fully stepping into and maintaining the energy of your new reality so that it becomes your default state of being. One of the most important aspects of integration is consistency in your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Your new reality isn't something you step into once and hope it stays. It's something you actively maintain by staying in alignment with the energy of that timeline. This means choosing thoughts that reinforce your new beliefs, practicing emotional states that match your desired experience, and taking actions that reflect the version of yourself in that reality. Resistance can arise during this process, often in the form of old doubts resurfacing or external challenges testing your commitment to the shift. When this happens, it's not a sign that you're failing. It's simply an opportunity to reaffirm your choice. Instead of reacting with frustration or slipping back into familiar patterns, use these moments as reminders to reinforce your alignment. The more you respond as your new self rather than your old self, the more solidified your shift becomes. Anchoring into a new timeline also requires detaching from the old version of reality. Many people unconsciously hold onto past struggles, limiting beliefs, or even certain relationships because they are familiar. But if something no longer aligns with the version of yourself you are becoming, it will naturally begin to fade. Letting go is an essential part of stepping into something new. If certain habits, environments, or connections feel misaligned, trust that their release is part of the shift. A practical way to strengthen this integration is by reinforcing your new reality through repetition and embodiment. Speak, think, and act as though your shift is complete. This isn't about pretending. It's about aligning your energy with what you already know to be true. The more natural it feels, the more deeply ingrained it becomes. Over time, your external world will adjust to match what you've internally anchored. Perhaps the final and most crucial step in fully integrating a shift is trusting that it's real. Many people waver between believing in their new timeline and questioning whether it's truly happening. The moment you fully trust, without needing immediate external validation, you solidify your alignment. You no longer look for proof because you embody the reality internally, and from that state, your external world has no choice but to follow. Every choice, every thought, and every response you make is either keeping you in your new timeline or pulling you back into an old one. The more deliberate you become in maintaining this alignment, the more natural it becomes, until one day, you realize that the shift is complete. Everything you've learned in this process leads to one undeniable truth. You are the creator of your reality. The timelines you experience are not random. They are a direct reflection of your energy, beliefs, and focus. By consciously reshaping your subconscious programming, aligning with the emotions of your desired reality, and fully trusting in the shift, you've already set the process in motion. What once seemed like an abstract concept, shifting timelines, is now something you understand on a deep level. The version of you who already has what you desire exists, and your work is not to struggle toward it, but to become it in mind, body, and energy. Every moment offers a new choice, and with each decision, you reinforce the reality you're stepping into. Let this be your reminder. You don't have to chase your desires. The more you embody the energy of the life you want, the more effortlessly it becomes your experience. The shift is already happening. The only question left is, will you trust it enough to step fully into your new reality?